We're Brian and Emily, and this is our adventure pup Wes. Last month, we took the ultimate leap of leaving our life in Lake Tahoe and long-term careers behind to travel and experience new things and places while we can. In this video, we've made our way up to Alaska. We explore the very cool city of Juneau, but unfortunately, we have a couple of things go missing from camp.
Somebody totally stole our rug.
And we see firsthand the effects of climate change in the local glacier.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are coming at you from Juneau, Alaska. We got here a couple days ago. We arrived on the ferry and have honestly taken a little break, some time off, just to rest up from that ferry ride. It was mentally draining.
Yeah, to say the least. We did put a video all about our journey together. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a little card up here so that you can link over and watch that video. Now that we've been in Juneau, resting up for a couple of days, we're gonna take you guys around to see what this beautiful city has to offer. Juneau is actually the capital of Alaska, in case you didn't know that, about 30,000 people, so good size. And we're gonna do some sightseeing. We're probably gonna go for a hike or two and just spend time getting our feet wet in the beautiful state of Alaska. So I hope you guys come along. At the end of this video, we're gonna share with you some news about where we're headed next that was not in the itinerary.
It's all part of the adventure.
Yeah, so hang around and we'll share that with you after we see all that Juneau has to offer.
Our first stop was to get some smoked salmon from Taku, which we can't recommend enough.
Oh,
This stuff is the good stuff.
Wow.
yeah?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, man. You got a great establishment here.
Thanks.
We wandered around some more and then made our way back to camp where it had started to rain.
For those of you that are even just a little bit familiar with our channel, you know that we love cooking. We love cooking over a campfire, but we've been in Alaska now for a couple of nights and the rain is just not letting up, and sometimes cooking outside just isn't gonna happen. We do have a induction stovetop in there, which is great if you're gonna do like cooking pot or soups or something, but we didn't have an oven, so we did some research before this trip and found in our very small storage space under the sink we have a very small air fryer, which I'm trying to get out now, which we are going to try for the first time tonight. And I'm excited to see what Emily comes up with. And we're both excited to see how much power it takes from our batteries, because we haven't had any sun to charge the van and we've done very limited driving. We're at about 60% right now with our house battery, so let's see what this takes out of that and leaves us for the rest of the night.
I honestly can't remember if this is the 2 or the 3-quart air fryer, but I'll link it down in the description for you. Got off Amazon. It was super cheap, but we're going to see how it does tonight. We are going to make wrapped meatballs to dip in some marinara, frozen meatballs, pizza crust, Parmesan cheese. I've never made these before. This is always the worst part. Like, is it gonna pop on you? Is it not gonna pop on you? Okay.
You Italians know how to figure things out.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Now that we've got it all cut up, I'm just gonna make little pockets. I think I'm probably only gonna be able to fit like 4 max in this tiny little air fryer. I'm gonna have to do a couple of different batches. I think it should be well worth it. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of parm.
It's almost time. We only got a few more seconds left.
Smells like a pizza factory.
Yeah. All right. Those look pretty good. Let's cut into them and see if they're done.
Let's check. That's cold. No cold meatballs for me. How do we do this without burning the dough to death? Dough's done, meatball's not done.
Do you like meatballs? So 2 batches at about 15 minutes each left us at 50%. Not horrible, but also not ideal if you don't get a lot of sun. I don't think these look too bad. We're just gonna put some sauce on the bottom, and then I think we got some meatballs. This is how they served meatballs in one of my favorite Italian restaurants in Italy when I was there. Probably 20 plus years ago. So we may not be in Italy. We're in Alaska. I think they turned out pretty darn good.
Air fryer for the win. We have an oven, kind of. Worked great.
It is the first day that it hasn't rained. So we are hiking up to the base of the Mendenhall Glacier in Nugget Falls. I did this hike in 2001 when I came and visited my friend. So it'll be fun to see it again. And you've never seen it, Brian.
I'm excited.
Ah, well, it's a busy trail.
Busy trail.
Lots of people. It's about 2 miles round trip, out and back. Super easy, and can't wait to show you guys the view when we get there.
It's dog friendly.
Either I remember it wrong, or the glacier has really receded over the past 23 years. When I was here, like, you could see the glacier like actually come down into the lake here, from what I remember, and now it's like all the way up there. Sad, but our glaciers are definitely melting, and to see it firsthand like this is kind of a bummer.
Same thing in Iceland too. They show you maps of decades worth of glacier melt. Is it glacier melt?
Yeah. So
Still pretty incredible though.
it is. And the falls right here are just absolutely breathtaking. Ooh, look at that. Walk that catwalk. After our hike, we did some chores and found what looked like some questionable showers that actually didn't turn out to be so bad. We just got back to our campsite after our hike to Nugget Falls, and then we stopped and took a shower, and somebody totally stole our rug that we left at the campsite. Like, I'm hoping that they just thought that we left it and we're like gone, but lame. This is our campsite. Our rug was like right over here. And I mean, I could see where somebody was probably thought that we just left it and they took it, but that's kind of a problem when you've got your home is also like what you drive. And so when you leave for the day to go do something like go for a hike or visit the glacier, then you're leaving your site kind of unclaimed, if you will, unless you leave a bunch of stuff. If you have any ideas on how to like claim your spot without leaving a tent or some valuables you don't want to walk off, leave them in the comments below and let us know. We also just realized that they took what firewood that we had left that was actually in the bear box. They didn't take our favorite camp accessory ever, our long tongs that are the best. They also didn't take Wes's water bowl. So I think somebody literally just came and took what they wanted out of our campsite, which is not a great feeling, but good lesson. Always learning. Real quick clarification, because I know somebody will probably ask this, but we do have a reservation at the site for the next few nights. So it is ours. We didn't have to necessarily claim it because we have a reservation through recreation.gov.
We got our rug back. And we've also switched campsites to a whole new campground. We'll talk about that later.
Let's had a taste of glacier water. And look what's right next to camp that Brian found. Look at all these blueberries.
We're having pancakes again tomorrow.
You have to eat one for me. Let me know they're not poisonous.
Here goes nothing. Night night. Tastes like a blueberry.
Blueberry score.
What do bears eat?
Berries. This is camp for the next couple of nights, assuming that we don't have a major flooding event. When we got to the campground today, somebody that works with the National Forest Service told us that every year around this time there's a major flooding event that happens where a bunch of water that has melted up on the glacier forms a pool and will eventually start to spill over that pool into the lake you see behind me. Now, when that gives way and really starts to go, it causes the lake here to rise several feet. I guess last year they had one of the biggest floods on record where even some of the higher campsites were a couple of feet underwater. So they'll let us know, and they'll start to find out within like 24 hours if it's happening. But I guess that the water is starting to kind of spill over now. They do expect it's going to be happening here within the next few days. So, could be interesting. And we might be relocating again. We'll see. Fingers crossed we don't have to, because it's beautiful here. Look at this. Like, gorgeous. Real quick, it's August 6th, and we just learned that less than 24 hours after we left Juneau, they experienced major catastrophic flooding. A yakulop occurred, which is an Icelandic term for the glacial outburst flood that happens with the melting ice. With the warm weather, it turned out to be over a foot greater than last year's historic flood. Many neighborhoods and individuals that live in the Mendenhall Valley have been impacted, and I can only imagine the property damage that they'll incur. Our hearts go out to everyone impacted by this event. Now, let's get back to camp for the story about the rug.
We are at Mendenhall Glacier Campground. We moved today because of an unfortunate series of events. We told you about the carpet, which was returned to us. Someone thought we had left, and then they took it, and then they saw we returned and brought it back to us. And then after that, there was a couple other, I don't know, there was a little weirdness in that campground. And then the fireworks started, like literal fireworks started happening, and we didn't know it at the time, but our 12-and-a-half-year-old dog does not like fireworks. He was shaking so bad. Luckily, we had some meds for him to calm him down. We talked to that person. He said he'd stop. Didn't stop. So today we woke up, fireworks started again, and we decided we're just gonna go, like, just for the health of him and even us. So we found this awesome campground right by a glacier. Like I said, the glacial lake. It's so cool. I think it's a little more managed here. We're gonna call this home for the next couple of nights. I think it's a fresh start to our Alaska trip in Juneau. And Juneau is amazing. We can't wait to show you more of the city and the area. But for tonight, we're just gonna relax, make some tacos.
We were also in for an unexpected treat that isn't seen a lot in the summer months, the Northern Lights. Our last day we spent hanging with my good friend and then doing what all the tourists do, stopping at Tracy's for some delicious king crab that will cost you an arm and a leg. Oh dang, I hope you're hungry, babe.
I say it's worth every penny.
Just a couple hours left for us in Juneau, unfortunately. I had a great time.
Me too. Juneau's pretty cool. We saw some amazing things. Emily saw an old college friend.
And look at the necklace she gave me. Officially in Alaska.
Yeah, so we're going to spend the next couple hours in a parking lot waiting to board another ferry in the morning.
Yeah, so we're headed to Haines. We originally wanted to go much further up north so that we didn't have to bounce in and out of Canada to get to mainland Alaska. But unfortunately, the Alaska Marine Highway System is running a reduced fleet, and I guess they have been for a while now, according to our friends. So we can't get as far north as we thought or as we saw online. So we're just going up to Haines, and then from there we're going to stay for a couple of days before we head up even further north and into the Yukon. So we're going into Canada and then finally making our way to mainland Alaska.
I think this is going to kind of be part of our journeys. Things aren't always going to go as planned, and which is totally fine because we have the time. This is why we're doing this. So yeah, another adventure awaits. I can't wait to see what else is out there, what we get into.
Me too. But first, I want to try and get a couple hours of shut-eye because our ferry, we have to check in for it at 2:15 a.m. and it's like 10:15 right now. So I think we're going to try and get some sleep in the parking lot here, and we will see you guys on the next adventure out there.
See ya.
Bye.